I'm having a beer, so I toast you all and hope that you all are healthy and well. And I love the idea of going to the mental gym. I want to go there with you guys and get fit up there. But I also, Judge, I got to tell you, I love the idea of encouraging people to connect and have fun over Zoom and have a beer or a drink or a glass of water if that's what you want to have, but do it in your home so that you stay safe and healthy and we don't get anyone else infected, and take care of these frontline healthcare workers. My sister's an ER nurse here in El Paso. And, you know, if she were speaking candidly, she would tell us all to stay the fuck home and not put any more pressure on them at the hospital. Her COVID wing is full right now, and we've seen a real spike in cases. So I love this idea, and I just am grateful to have a beer with y'all. It's a big honor. Thank you.
Awesome.
Here's to you.
Tim, I think Tim's figured it out because you got your kids and you've gone out to I guess the ranch or the farm somewhere far away from people, and y'all are just kind of communing with nature out there.
Yeah, we're fortunate to have a little place about 45 minutes from Dallas, so it's kind of been nice to be able to get out of the house and come out here and just kind of do what we can do, which is mainly like mowing and a little fishing, but got to get the stuff done, the work done first. But yeah, it was kind of rough for us because we were set to go play a show when this whole thing went down, and we were doing a covers night where we were playing a show at the Kessler in Oak Cliff. And it's kind of when it all went down and we decided not to do the show. But we were all rehearsed and ready to go and play this show. So we went back to the triplex, and it's a place where we rehearse, and we went and recorded all the songs and took advantage of that one day we'd already been together. And then I haven't seen them since March 14th. I have a really large band, there's 20 people in the group. So it's been kind of rough, and we're in the middle of making a record, and it's been like, trying to figure out how to make that work and embrace new technology and things like that. But it's nice to be able to get away,
So are you able to record distant?
Well, we recorded, the last time we recorded was on the 14th. We actually just did it all live in the room because we'd already been together. And it was like, hell, we're already together. Let's just knock this out. And so we did it. And now it's just kind of being mixed. There's really no use for us to be together. And then as far as making the record, right now, it's just been a lot of kind of woodshedding by ourselves and me kind of sending tracks and working on things, trying to work on some arrangements and with some new software and just getting it ready for when we are ready to get together and record. But, we're doing the best we can, it's what we got to do and to keep it safe. And we'll be back. I've got no doubt this whole thing's we're going to get through this, but it's just kind of tough right now.
Tim, we're all your new best friends, so send us all free concert tickets.
You got it.
Start it back up.
You got it.
You can have a little
Beto,
right
I
now.
see your cat. You guys talk amongst yourself. I want to bring a special guest to show y'all. I've caught a lot of crap from my wife for bringing this special guest into her house, but my kid needed a special guest, and we are this close to being potty trained. By this close, I mean we are this close to being potty trained. So I'll be right back. Y'all talk amongst yourselves.
All right, I need some ideas from you guys. My little sister was supposed to get married tomorrow to the love of her life, and we've been trying to think of fun ways since it was postponed till October. So we've got 5 more months, but we're trying to think of fun ways to get the family. We have a big Mexican family, and so we're trying to think of fun ways to get everyone together and to root them on. So has anyone had anything big postponed and found a good way to bring everyone together virtually?
Absolutely. That's my world. I obviously live in the events world that is currently non-existent and honestly should stay so. I know my peers are eager to get back and for all different reasons. However, my little brother graduated, my daughter finished school, the whole nine, the whole drive-by situation. I don't know where, and I don't know if it's convenient traffic-wise. The people who have had, stoop weddings, front yard weddings, even if it's, I don't want to call it a mock wedding, but just getting people in one place, but transitory. So if they can, you know, hold signs or something themed out of a vehicle, you know, all of that kind of stuff is really, really fun. And to challenge everybody's creativity and see what they can come up with if you give them a theme and how they can execute. So I wholeheartedly feel her pain. Have had so many events canceled, but you know, elongated. She gets to do it for 5 months. So
they've been really good sports about it, which I think it's been pretty cool to see that for other people. I'm the CEO of a dating app, and a big part of that is meeting up, and we're watching people get really creative with how they send each other drinks and dates and do things virtually. I saw people cooking dinner together but apart, and I thought that was really creative. So people are being really good sports, and my sister and her fiance have been good about it. So
there you go. Together but apart is a good start. Do things, you know, together. He's a hashtag, and then come up with all the things that the family can do together but apart. So
yeah.
And you really can do a lot of stuff on Zoom. I mean, we had my husband a birthday party on Zoom last week, and I thought actually they were going crazy. And in fact, he planned the birthday party. He just decided it was his birthday, and he needed everybody to get on Zoom at 9 o'clock and celebrate him. Now, we had already had something at the house, but I guess he needed people in California and New York and across the country to celebrate. And we did that for about an hour, and it was fabulous, absolutely fabulous. People told all kinds of stories. They talked. We got a chance to see what people were doing in their own house. Some people said they were cooking dinner in his honor. And so we'd see what was going on in, you know, the kitchens of my different nieces and all that. But it was great. I mean, we celebrated him for an hour. My son and my niece, they were both DJing out of California. It was great. So just getting together online and partying. If you want them to dress up, great. But people love that. I think they just like being together. Use the technology and have fun with it. Have fun with it. We got a DJ around here. And then we got
I turned 30 in 6 days.
We can have the wedding right now. Go ahead.
Have the wedding right now.
Yeah. Right. My birthday's in 6 days. I turned the big 3-0. I'm throwing myself an IG live birthday party virtually. You all are welcome to join.
Hey, I'll give you one idea.
You're so young.
You know, so my mom's birthday was in March. She lives in Florida. Obviously, I'm here in Dallas. And my dad and my brother are currently in Venezuela. So they haven't been able to come here since I'm originally from there. So what I did for my mom, I was born and raised in Venezuela, is that I got all my friends to record a message through WhatsApp, since that's how we communicate on that app. They all recorded a video message. And for her birthday, I like kind of put a montage of all the videos. I edited, I put happy birthday, mom, all in Spanish. And then I sent that to her. And for her to see my friends that they were, you know, I don't know, 8, 9 years old. And now we're all in our 20, 30, 40s. I mean, depending on who we are, then that was for her like really special, because she had not seen a lot of them in a while. So that's one idea I would say.
Oh my gosh, that'd like make her cry, I'm sure.
It was very emotional. It was very emotional, but in a good way though, because you know, those are my friends and those are guys that she hasn't been able to see in a while. Now we're all spread out. Some are in Spain, some are, you know, all over the world. So it's really special in that case for her, or it was special for her.
Yeah.
Well, and there is a tool people can use here in Dallas County and really throughout North Texas and even the state for questions like weddings and things to do this weekend. You can go to DallasCountyCovid.org and you can download a little color-coded chart that will tell you each of those reopened services, whether the local doctors, these are the chiefs of epidemiology, infectious disease, public health at the big hospitals, recommend that you do those things. Right. So as much fun as it would be, for instance, for us to all meet up in person, have a few drinks and make some bad decisions, right? The doctors would tell us that this is not the time to do it just yet. We're in that red color now. We want to get down to the orange color. They tell us the next step down before we do that in-person dining. Then if we're taking care of a 65-year-old person with a high-risk condition, or we are 65 or have a high-risk condition, we want to go down another 14 days to yellow. So you can, if you're watching this, now these guys all know this because these guys are in the know. But if you're watching this and you haven't downloaded that document, you can get it at DallasCountyCovid.org. But this is not really a pre-session It's just we're all chilling out and having fun on the Zoom. Hey, Stephen, tell us what it's like up there. I think you're the farthest person away on this call because and by the way, Stephen, just tell us right now, Cowboys, Steelers, or Eagles?
Definitely not the Eagles.
Definitely not the Eagles. Good answer. So whatever it is, as long as it's not the Eagles, I love you, man.
I have to go.
I would love you anyway because you're doing a fantastic job for our Stars. By the way, I heard a rumor that maybe the Stars would resume playing. You gonna give us any scoop on that, or?
Pretty much whatever you guys hear is what we hear on Twitter. There's been some discussions throughout, our union in the league, but there's a lot of hoops and ladders we have to jump through before, we can pull this off. But I think the one thing everyone is on the same page about is that we all want to be healthy and we all want to keep everybody else healthy. And, until that's a possibility, I don't think, big gatherings in any type can be possible. So I think we need to listen to the experts, obviously, and, follow the guidelines that everyone's giving to us. And hopefully this thing will pass over. But until then, we just got to stay strong.
How would it feel for you guys to play without an audience? I've been wondering that, like whether it's the NBA or NHL.
I mean, I think we're ready to do it. We're excited for it. Just like we're enjoying this experience right here is this Zoom hangout, socially distanced, safe, healthy. I think it would be really cool to interact with fans that way. If we can find a way, like you said, to compete in a safe way, and we can create a situation where the lowest possible risk and obviously hopefully setting a great example for how to kind of go about doing these things in the future. I think it's a really fun and exciting way to engage with fans in a whole new way, because with an empty arena, we have a bunch of options as far as different ways fans can interact instantaneously or with a slight delay or whatever it may be. And it's going to be really exciting, I think, for us to kind of go down that avenue, which I think has been kind of on the cusp for a while now with this new technological age.
And I know
awesome.
From Dwight's perspective, just being in an arena, like, I think it sheds light to how many people are in the space and the different, demographics of people, as well as just making sure that the most important thing is, not only the players, but the fans and staff alike, are kept safe. And I think it'll lead us down a path of innovation, which from an in-game programming perspective, is fascinating, so I think in keeping that positive perspective, I think this will give birth to a lot of experiences that maybe now can, be transferred to people who ordinarily may not be able to make it to sporting events. So I'm excited and just trying to stay extremely positive about what we're about, especially with the Mavs, just being innovative and, not necessarily looking at it as something different, but it'll be different, but it's different and it'll be new. And embracing that new frontier, that possible virtual frontier. So it's exciting.
And that's what I love. I mean, something new and creative and a lot of fun things will come out of it. I mean, so just like Dwight said, I think we've been on the cusp of some of this for years, and now we're forced. We're forced to have a breakthrough about using some of this technology. And then there's probably some technology that hasn't even been invented yet. So it's exciting. And then, we've talked for a while about expanding viewership and trying to come up with ideas about how to get more people to watch the game, because you can only get, 19, 20,000 people in an arena. And so now we'll have an opportunity to expand the viewership, and we've got to give them something really good. We have a fabulous team. Like a fabulous team. And so when Tim said it earlier about they're about to make a record, we're about to make a record too. So we're excited. We're excited about our team and where we are. So we're going to give more fans an opportunity to experience what we've been experiencing. So it's exciting.
Dwight, how do you feel like you guys will get your adrenaline pumping, going into an empty stadium? Do you feel like you guys are just going to have to just do some different things, just to get that whole adrenaline going before games? I'm
sure any of you guys that play, Stephen could for sure attest to this, especially in that sport. But when we walk in the gym and you go in between those lines, it's cool to have fans. It's cool to have cheering. And obviously our MFFLs, they represent us on a whole nother level. But as a competitor and as an athlete, something else takes over once the ball gets thrown up. So
yeah,
if you were to put a camera in our practices, you'd be surprised to see the level of intensity and veracity guys are playing with. And it's, you know, that's why we're at the level we're at, because we're able to turn that on and play with that passion. And I think now, especially like, as you know, small as it may seem to some people, but that Jordan doc got a lot of guys like with their feet tapping on the floor while they're watching.
Oh, yeah.
I know at least, I don't know, 10%, if not way more, of guys were watching that documentary with a ball in their hand. I know I was, just because like we're itching to get back out there. So I think we obviously love our fans and they give us so much, and that's during the games and outside of the games. But if we can give them something to cheer for, even when they're not there, nothing's going to stop us from playing to the highest level we possibly can. So it's going to be weird at first, but I think the second we see another team's jersey, like that's going to get us ready to go.
Yeah. Awesome. Yep.
I had a basketball in my hand after watching it, and I've never played basketball in my life.
Right.
It made me want to go join a league. That was a fun experience those couple of weeks. I was so glad that they gave us something to look forward to. Now what are we gonna do? What's new? What are you guys watching? Anything fun?
Parks and Rec.
Oh. Good one.
I finally finished Ozark. I powered through all, how many, 5 seasons, I think, or however many that was. So did that. But then I also watched the Stephon Marbury documentary.
All right. Don't tell.
Sorry, I'm not gonna. No spoilers. No spoilers. No spoilers.
You know, we did the rewind. Fox Sports did the rewind of the 2011 Mavs championship, and so it was great for me because I wasn't here in 2011, and in fact, I'm a huge basketball fan, but I was actually undergoing chemotherapy then, so I don't know anything about the 2011 NBA playoffs. I was living that thing like it was happening right now. And I knew how those particular games would end. I was crazy. So it was exciting. It's over with now, so we got to find something else to air. But it was fun. It was fun.
And for those of you who haven't sat beside Cynt at a game, when she said she was going crazy, I already know her house was rocking. That was live action, looking at a 26-year-old JJ.
I never want to embarrass our guys, and they always look up like, it's cool, Cynt. It's cool. Just keep doing
We love it. We love it.
Hey, Christiana, I had a question for you.
Sure.
So you mentioned that you run, did you say a dating app or a dating service?
Yeah, a dating app. It's called Vouch, where you get to vouch for your friends.
And so I'm curious, in the time of COVID, how has dating changed? I'm assuming if you want to follow the public health guidance, it's much harder to hook up. And there's probably some more courtship involved, some more talking and writing and connecting without physically connecting. Has that been the case, or tell us how dating has changed?
I thought at first people were going to be really frustrated that they weren't going to be able to meet up, and then, that they were going to be disappointed that there was going to maybe be, some level of time between matching and then actually getting to see each other. And it was actually kind of quite the opposite. Guys and girls were excited kind of about that courtship period. One of the girls said, I just want someone to send me poems like they used to back in the 1700s. I want to be courted in the same way, without that pressure to meet up right away. So people are spending a little bit more time connecting, doing virtual dates. And I think that's going to be the new normal. I mean, I always joke that you can match with somebody, spend a bunch of time, money, getting hair done, makeup done, driving somewhere, meeting up before all of this, and it might not go well. So you can almost use virtual dating as a screening time period where you can find out, is there a real connection? Is it worth meeting up when things are safe? And like I said, people are getting creative and sending really fun little questionnaires, watching shows together. And I know that they'll hit a point where it's, all right, what now? We really want to see each other. And so we've just instructed people to, when they feel comfortable and when it feels safe, to get outside and stay, again, be social, but not too close, and get to know each other a little bit differently than feeling that pressure to have that more casual kind of hookup encounter. And people have been really positive about it. I really, when we first started to shut things down, I was really nervous about how our app would perform. I thought, well, people, are going to either break the rules or they're going to not join the app at all. But it's been quite the opposite.
That's cool. Maybe it's into courtship and chivalry, and maybe some of the things that we've lost when it became too easy to connect with people too. That's great.
I need to know Christiana's app.
Well, the fun part about it is that you can vouch for your single friends. So the idea is kind of recommendations, reviews, references like you would for a job. Right now, dating is kind of hard out there. And what we've realized is there's concerns about scams and money and maybe people not being authentic online or on there for the wrong reasons. And what we do with Vouch is we ask people to vouch for those single people so that you kind of have an idea of what to expect. And the vouchers are friends and family. So they're people that know those daters well. But it just verifies in a kind of social factor who someone is and what they're about. So that way you're not worried about safety and you're not worried about authenticity. You can just focus on the relationship. So it's a fun spin on dating, and it's this has been a very interesting time for it, but we've learned a lot. And like I said, users have been really wonderful with their feedback. So I'll vouch for you, Sonia, if you'd like me to. I think my vouch counts for like 3 or 4.
I got like a lot of people who vouch for me. Just don't ask any of my exes.
Okay. We're not Yelp of people. Don't worry. You get to pick who vouches for you.
Oh, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with all that.
It's hard out there. You gotta know.
I actually had a family member.
Celebrated 37 years of marriage.
Congratulations.
I am just not trying to do that. But I did have some young man try to roll up to the house to see one of my daughters, and I had to go out there and let him know. Check the stats in Dallas County, honey. No, we are not in the decline.
We are staying home.
Get away from my house. No, bye-bye.
Give him a test.
Bye-bye. Not time to roll up just yet. Right, Judge? It's like this.
That's right. That's who's going to keep us safe as mamas, because we know who makes the decisions. It's the mama, right? So I was telling you about that little thing that you can download. Mama, put that in your purse. Use that as a cheat sheet. Listen to mamas, right? Because if daddy says, hey, I want to get a haircut. Sure, I'm a diabetic and the doctors tell me not to, but I want to go get a haircut. Mama says, no, we're going to wait on that, right? Kid says, I want to go play soccer in the park. Mama says, no. So listen to mama, and mama, use your common sense, but also get that document, because that little cheat sheet can help you. These doctors, they've been training their whole adult lives to advise you in these moments, right? So these are the experts, right? It's an epidemic. So we got an epidemiologist. It's an infectious disease. So we got the chiefs of epidemiology. It's a public health crisis. So we got the heads of public health. They've come up with this deal for you to use. And I don't know if Zoom happy hours are on the doctor cheat sheet, but it would fit with all that they're talking about. Avoid crowds. But since we're all alone, we don't have to wear a mask, right? And 6 foot distancing. I mean, heck, we're more than 6 feet, right? Stephen's up there in Pennsylvania. Good hygiene. I'm sure we're all washing our hands. So, this is one of those things that works.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you
what happened to your co-star?
If you have to go out, you got to get your Mavs a mask. Everybody.
Oh,
wait a minute! I need one of those.
Your Mavs yard sign to help to thank the healthcare workers. Your T-shirt help Dallas rebound. We are a part of the solution. Yeah.
And I'm gonna message you my address, okay?
My new fashion accessory.
Right.
So not only do we have Dwight showing up in virtual classrooms, I mean, literally popping up on the screen on the past, 2 months, Dwight, in classrooms helping kids. I mean, it's been crazy and they've been loving it. And thanks for doing that. But we're also, putting the yard signs out, PPE, all that, and just working with Judge Clay and others and just trying to help out here. Because, I mean, we do have a serious situation, but we're getting through it together. Y'all
have been great. I should have worn. I need to get me a Dallas Rebound shirt. I've got a quarantine and green star shirt. And I should have worn that actually before this. Y'all have been tremendous. Both the Mavs and the Stars, and you know this, but the people that are watching, they have given to the COVID response fund. They've given money, PPE, public service announcements, sanitizer, all sorts of things. You know, there was a time, I don't know, 45 days ago when we had no hand sanitizer for our first responders and our healthcare heroes. And people stepped up and helped with that. I think gave the money for the raw materials so we could turn our distilleries like Tito's and I can't remember all their names, Noble Wolf and Bent distilleries into hand sanitizer factories. Now we have enough hand sanitizer because you guys stepped up for raw materials and they quit making spirits and started making hand sanitizer. So can't thank y'all enough for all you've done and you keep doing. And send us all a free t-shirt. I'll wear that on something. So I'm getting you guys are at a happy hour, we're having fun, and I'm pitching people to give you concert tickets and free t-shirts.
Free merch. What happened to your co-star? We saw the puppy for 2 seconds. What happened to your co-star?
I know. Where's the puppy?
Yeah, where's the
So my co-star got a little restless, chased somebody around the yard, and so Beto and I have hit upon the idea to keep our kids happy and healthy. We just keep buying them pets. Beto, you have any of your chicks? He's got a bunch of chicks. They're starting a chicken coop. I don't know if you have any of those, but
we've got
soon we'll have farms, urban farms at our house, and we'll have to think of a new trick to keep the kids happy.
We're building a coop as well. And funny, my 11-year-old daughter, Molly, and my wife, Amy, were picking out plans for the coop that we're going to build. And they range from, you know, some chicken wire that is nailed to 2x4s where you pin the chicks in to what they selected, which is a 2-story Victorian mansion that we're building in our backyard right now. So we've been at it for the last 3 weeks. Actually, Amy just came by and she's going out to go pick up some more supplies from Lowe's and then is going to bring that back home. And we're hoping we've actually got it all framed out. We just need to add the roof and the shingles and the siding and painted all that stuff. And then these chicks are going to be able to stay in there. And we think within the next month or so, they'll start laying eggs. So I'm kind of excited about that. But yes, we have the full-on menagerie here. We've got cat, dog. We've got a bearded dragon. We've got 2 different snakes, and now we've got all these chicks. So we're full-on zoo in the house.
All right, game on. I'll catch
I'm
up.
scared of animals, so keep out that in El Paso.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm scared
There's
of
Artemis.
animals.
Oh.
I am. We had a dog here. My daughter had her dog here, and I wanted to work in the backyard one day, and I went out there, and this Louis, we call him King Louis, was lounging on my stuff in the backyard, and I'm scared of him. Then I wanted to work out. He was on my treadmill. So I said, okay, Louis has taken over my house. It's me or Louis.
That's what they do.
I know. And so Louis and the girls, they're gone. I go visit them. They're 3 minutes up the street. No, they're grown now.
Have like the chickens when they lay eggs. I mean, is part of that you just want to start to produce your own food at home, or like I've seen a lot of people doing their own gardens and doing this vegan thing also.
We're doing some of that too. So we've been planting a lot more. We've got serrano peppers and bell peppers, and we planted some avocados, which is going to take a few years. But there's no rhyme or reason to the chicks. It was Molly got really excited about it a few months ago, bought the chicks, and then we had chicks and figured out that we had to either order or buy a hen house or a coop. But yeah, it will be nice to have all of the eggs that we need taken care of, and give them out to neighbors and stuff, and be maybe slightly more self-sufficient. I think one of the silver linings in what has been a really terrible time for a lot of people has been that we have been able to be together as a family in a way that we haven't in very long time. I've been on the road for the last 3 years. And then before that was a member of Congress for 6 years. So just back and forth all the time, never regularly at home. And now I'm probably home too much for, everyone's satisfaction here in the house, but we've been able to make a lot of meals together, to plant stuff, to build this chicken coop, and really just be together and kind of slow stuff down in a way that's been really rewarding. And it doesn't mean that we don't drive each other crazy and that everyone's not itching to get out of the house, but there have been some nice things about it for our family. And this chicken coop project is one of them.
I'd love to know too, has anybody, in this time that you've been staying at home, what are some, whether it's lost hobbies that you've been able to reclaim or new skills that you've been able to, acquire that might, transition into regular life at this point? Would love to know what everybody's been kind of working on,
it's funny because I joked earlier about the dog, and that's true. And so I said, this is the time where I finally need to get over this phobia or whatever this is that I have of dogs. I mean, just from something that happened when I was a kid. I mean, I need to get over it now. And so we're actually working on that. I said, I just need to deal with it. And so Louis is helping me do that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
It'll be major when it happens. It'll be major.
And we got an opportunity to spend time with family. When you've got kids, I know that like we all think we're cool, but and our kids, hopefully still think we're cool too, but we're not nearly as cool as all their friends they want to hang out. And so, it really gives us a time to reconnect as a family, to play goofy board games. One of the things that we found to do as a family, an extended family, is we have Monopoly and maybe it's Spades that we, for like 99 cents, we downloaded this app so you're all playing cards or Monopoly. I think we're about to start Dominoes too, where you're playing it with your relatives in other houses. Now, everybody has to get their own computer or phone. If they get too close to each other, you get a lot of screeching, echoing, weird stuff happening. But, that's one thing we've been doing. Can I say one other thing too, guys, for you city people? So I was born in Oak Cliff, but my mom moved us, my father died when I was 7. My mom moved us back to Waxahachie, where I got this distinctive urban accent that I still have. And so here's the cool thing about your own eggs. Now, I don't have chickens yet, but you're inspiring me. But when you have your own eggs, by the way, my buddy Stephen is here, who is even more country than me. He's an Itasca Wampus cat. I'm Waxahachie ISD, but he's an Itasca Wampus cat. When your mascot is a Wampus cat, you're country, okay? But anyway, when you have your own eggs, you don't have to refrigerate those bad boys. It's a birthday. There's a birthday man from last week. You don't have to refrigerate them, and they're just completely different than these store-bought eggs. Even if you buy the cage-free $6 eggs, it's just not the same. And it's just it's a lot better egg. And you can get different types of chickens, and then you get different types of eggs. You might have a purple egg and a brown egg, and at the store you get the brown eggs and the white eggs, but in the country you get all different sorts of eggs. So, Beto, you're inspiring me. After my wife gets over her extreme anger over getting a puppy without telling her first, I would have told her first, right? But she said absolutely no more dogs, right? So I thought it would be better to ask for forgiveness and permission. If she gets over that, we'll start on our chicken coop.
Good luck.
I have a visitor. He wanted to say hi to Dwight. That's my husband, Kenny.
Hey. Hey, everyone.
Kenny, happy belated birthday.
Thank you very much, Judge.
Happy belated.
I told him about how you threw your own birthday party last Thursday night. Fun. Mm-hmm.
My mama turned 88 years young, and we did a Zoom birthday party. And it was cool because her friends are from all over, different time zones, different places. But we were all able to get together for a birthday party, and we had a cake here. She blew the candles out. Everybody sang.
Oh.
So, it was good thing. This Zoom deal may be part of the things that see us through this time, keep us connected.
And it's great too, because you have a lot of people who are they're sheltering in place by themselves. So I've been spending a lot of time having one-on-ones with employees, who live by themselves. And so it's just great to be able to kind of reach out and touch them in that fashion. Yeah.
That is very cool.
After seeing the struggles that parents have been having, I'm like, I'm so glad I don't have kids right now. Is that bad to say?
No, it's not.
It's not
distance-
bad.
No,
I actually have a 5-year-old and he's going into kindergarten. And so it's been challenging because their attention span is so short. And, I'm teaching him things that, he's going to need to learn, sight words and, all that kind of stuff. So that's definitely been challenging to do that. And I have to, get it. So enjoy it because it is, but it's good. It's good though.
No, it's like I start to complain about being alone, and then I'm like, no. The alternative, too much.
Yes.
Yeah, I had a homeschool a 7-year-old for 8 weeks, and when we drove by to close out the school year and grab her belongings and wave to all the teachers, I was like crying. They're like, "Why are you crying?" I'm like, "Because you guys do so much." Teachers are obviously extremely important, but I think that this last 8-week period has driven that home to an extent that I never could have imagined what they actually not go through, but what their days are like and how valuable or invaluable they are too.
20 to 30 kids in a class, and it's just, that's tough.
And they're so committed. They are so committed. From the beginning of this, they were just trying to figure out, okay, how can we make this okay for the kids? Let's set up the virtual learning. Now we need to go out and plan parades and go through the neighborhoods and wave at them. They have just been consumed with taking care of these kids. I love teachers. They're awesome.
And with children and families of their own, not to mention, every time I thought about the fact that not only are they, Zooming in our household and teaching all day, but they have, children and husbands and extended family that require their care and attention as well. So I'm definitely in that sphere.
That's both of my sisters are teachers and married and have children of their own. And I watched their struggle. They would be crying some nights because they still had to teach their kids and then turn around and teach classes on Zoom the next day. So just to try to keep it all together, I applaud them so much.
So we need to do some shout outs. Okay, so shout out to the teachers. Yes.
Shout out to all the teachers.
Shout out to the healthcare workers.
Oh yeah.
Who else? Let's see, the first responders, all of them. Yes. Okay, who else, you guys? Who else get a shout out? Who else?
Restaurant workers.
Who is that?
Grocery store workers.
Yeah.
Grocery store workers, yes.
Oh yes.
Pharmacists.
Oh, the pharmacists. Yes.
Yes.
To the postal system, delivery services.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
All the delivery services.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Including the food delivery people.
Yes.
There are like so many unsung heroes out there. It's amazing. We went around town today, our guys did, just planting these thank you signs to all different locations like that. Just so many people we want to say thank you to, including you, Judge Clay Jenkins, including you. Shout out to all of our policymakers, like all of our policymakers, all of our folks who are in there, the experts, just trying to figure this all out for us because it's not easy. It's not easy
at all.
And Dwight, to all of you guys, where did he go? No, I see Dwight, but Stephen, what these guys have been doing to kind of even just step it up with the community, showing up in classrooms virtually and doing things to just keep things going. I keep describing it as we're not playing basketball, but we're playing the game of life with people. And our athletes have stepped up in a big way to help play this game of life. So shout out to them too.
I think for us, one of the biggest things is as a professional athlete, and I've been born in Dallas, but I feel like I've grown up a lot here in the last 6 years. I think I've always felt the sense of community because we have people cheering for us, and we're in an arena and we're competing with the city's name on our chest. But in this situation where we're kind of all sitting in the same boat, it's a whole different type of feeling of community for me, where it's like, I know the grocery store worker has bills to pay, and that's the reason that they need to go to work every day. But now it's a little different because it's so clear the service that they're providing to all of us. And it's not just about the paycheck they're receiving. They're putting a little bit more on the line right now than anyone else to make sure that the community keeps rolling. And to me, those are the heroes, because I love the support we get from our MFFLs, and it drives us, it keeps us going. But I want to find whatever way we can. I reach out to any athletes in this community to do the same, is to find ways to support them like they've supported us, because now this is the time where we need to cheer them on like we're doing right now, because they're the ones keeping this community moving. And it's such a beautiful thing. And I'm so proud to be living in this city, let alone be a Dallas Maverick and a member of this city, just because it's such a beautiful thing to watch how the community has risen up.
Yes.
All right.
Shout out. Yes. I feel like we need a song or something. What kind of party is this? We haven't had any.
Yeah, do we have a DJ?
DJ.
We have a DJ in the
DJ.
Let me fix this situation. Give me a moment.
Help Dallas rebound.
Give me a moment. Give me a
Come on,
moment.
DJ. Help Dallas rebound.
Give me a moment. No worries. No worries. No worries.
After what Dwight just said, we're fired up. We just want a song to say
And ready
thank you to everybody.
go.
Come on now.
All right.
I have a special shout out that I feel like I don't hear as often, but somebody mentioned it the other day, is shouting out all of the people behind the scenes of building tech products like Zoom and communication tools. And people had to really rally together. I mean, even the IRS having to build tools and things that people can access for better information. And so all of the tech engineers and developers and people creating the infrastructure so that we can communicate from a distance, that's a big, I mean, they've stepped it up too. No time off either.
Oh yeah, like the AT&T 90,000 workers that are on the front line. Let's give it up to all the tech people. Yes. Yes. People are out there making it happen. The people at the funeral homes. My boss called me one night and he says, we need to go take care of them, give them food. I mean, look what's happening with them. So there's so many people.
And our faith community that in this time of social distancing has still kept us connected and, reached out and helped so many people, both spiritually and financially in this difficult time. So shout out to them.
Definitely.
But before we get played out on music from our DJ, shout out to all of you, because what you all recognize is you are influencers, right? It's easy for us to say, "Hey, I'm a hockey player. I'm a newscaster." But what we also are is you're role models to your fans, and we're at a time right now. We haven't seen this since World War II, really, where we're all asked to sacrifice. So I'm the first person in my family to get an opportunity to go to college. My family joined the military. A lot of the men would join the military the day after high school, right? And so we still have that tradition. I've got a couple of nephews and a niece serving right now. But, it is different, right? Because even in Vietnam, since Vietnam, we don't have a draft. It's a few people that serve, right? But now our whole nation is being asked to sacrifice, right? And they don't, it's a new thing, right? And it's controversial. You got people, threatening to kill each other over whether they have to wear a mask in the grocery store. And so when you step up and you show the way to what is right, it means a hell of a lot more to people than when the county judge tells them what is right. And so I want to, special shout out to all of you as influencers. Who knows how many people will watch this happy hour and say, if they can stay socially connected but physically distant, maybe I'll follow that advice, and it won't spread, and their nana won't get it. So I just want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for being on this deal and for being those great role models that people will listen to.
And there's one other group that, there are two groups I feel like, that we should be with, which is those who have had family members or loved ones or anybody close to them who has succumbed to the disease, but also to those who have fought and have survived. My mother is a survivor. She's a nurse. She's a healthcare worker. And I'm just so very grateful to God, but then also to her for her strong will, and to, you know, to everybody else who has been in the position to, you know, see this virus attack them, but then also, you know, be able to recover and come back on the other side, and just know that they're still great members of society, you know what I mean? And that we still wrap our arms distantly, you know, around them, and that, you know, we're definitely celebrating their strength. And so the song that I will play, so fittingly so, whenever you're ready, which is one of Cynt's favorites. I know you gotta hear that really loud, but there's definitely no mountain high enough. COVID is not a mountain that's high enough. And we will definitely climb it and overcome it together, and we will help Dallas rebound, all right?
And we want to remember what this holiday is all about, Memorial Day, what Memorial Day is all about. Let's remember everybody who gave their lives for this great country that we live in. We got a whole lot. We got a whole lot to be
shout out
thankful
for everyone who served.
Yes, yes, yes. All right, let's roll.
Play us out.
All right, and thank you to everyone who's tuned in. All right, Cynt, take it away.
You got this, Dallas. Ain't no mountain high enough. We got it.
Got my drink.
Come on, y'all.
Ain't no
Ain't no valley. Ain't no river. Next week.
All right.
All right.
That was good.
You guys are awesome.
Happy Memorial Day, Texas. Thanks, friends.
Thanks for the
Thank
invite.
Guys, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye. Be safe. Stay home.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
God bless y'all, everybody. Thanks for everyone who served, and stay safe.
God bless.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
You bet.